everyone, sorry I'm sitting down today. I had to film another video for my other channel and I sit down for those videos, so it would be a whole nother process for me to set up, standing up, all that kind of stuff. That's okay, it's one video, you guys will be fine. Today I'm here to review the Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't know. Anyway, this is the sequel to The Raven Boys, so I definitely say if you have not read Raven Boys, definitely do not watch this. And with Dream Thieves, I would say probably don't watch this either until you finish it because we will spoil it. I don't know. I didn't plan this review at all, so let's get to talking about it. You guys know how I felt about The Raven Boys. I love the book overall, but it was a very hard feat getting into the book because of all it just took a lot of stuff to get the storyline set up and all that kind of stuff. Overall, I loved the book. You guys know that I love the book so much. I thought it was a phenomenal book. It was very adventure-y. It was very supernatural. It kept me on my feet and it kept me wanting more. So I was very, very excited to go into the Dream Thieves. And I came out of the Dream Thieves being more confused than I was beginning the Raven Boys, and that says a lot. It's more confusing. I feel like I still don't know that much about the series. I feel like there's a whole big question marks behind this series, and I want to know more, and I need to know more. Overall, I liked the Dream Thieves. I thought it was a good sequel. Will I say I liked it better than the Raven Boys? No, I thought the Raven Boys was amazing, much more amazing so than the Dream Thieves. So I thought the Dream Thieves was an okay sequel, not the best sequel I've ever read, and I just feel like there could have been a lot more with the sequel. So that's my non-spoiler summary for that book. I would say leave if you have not read The Dream Thieves and come back when you have so we can chat about it, because I need to talk about it because I feel very confused in my life about it. So yeah, what my expectations were for this book before going into it. Number one, my main thing is I wanted more Blue and Gansey. I wanted some Blue and Gansey action. I needed it to happen, and yeah. Number two, I wanted to figure out more about Glendower. How close are we going to get? Are we going to get any closer? Are we going to find out more things? And number three, I wanted to figure out more about Ronan. I was like, this guy is an enigma. He's a mystery. I want to know more. So with these three things, I only felt like really one of them happened, and that one was pretty much about Ronan. Now, if you're Raven Boys, you probably read the description of the Dream Thieves, and you know that pretty much the Dream Thieves is very Ronan-centered. So I don't know if that's going to be all of the books are going to be like that. Like, I felt the Raven Boys was very Blue-centered almost, like Blue and Gansey-centered, and the Dream Thieves was very Ronan-centered. And I think the second person that had almost a centered would be Adam, I'd say. I didn't feel like we got a lot of Blue and Gansey in this book as much as the previous book, which I don't know if that's what's the case. I don't know if that's what we're going for here. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like every book is kind of almost like somebody's main center of a book, then we have another kind of person that's getting a little bit more focal point, and I feel like Ronan and Adam were the two in this book, and then Blue and Gansey were in the first book. Now, I don't know if that means for the third book. I don't know what's going on with that. Like I said, this book was pretty, I'd say 80% was definitely Ronan focused, and that I really liked Ronan. I like Ronan. I liked learning more about him. We learned that Ronan is quintessentially a dream thief. He can go into dreams and he can take things like, say he was dreaming right now and he saw this phone. He could go into that dream and he has to picture and like really hold it in his hand, and then he wakes up and there it is. He took it out of a dream pretty much. So we learned about that and all the craziness that it is. And with that, we learn more about his dad. And we learned in the first one that his dad was brutally murdered and Ronan found him dead, and it was just crazy and we never knew anything about it. Well, now we know that Ronan's dad was just like Ronan, like he was a dream thief almost. And we learn about Ronan's dad's will, and we know that Ronan has two other brothers. He has an older brother, Declan, and a younger brother named Matthew. And with that, there is a will that his dad wrote that they will each inherit, I want to say like $3 million, I don't know, dollars on their 18th birthday, I believe, but they cannot go to their home, they can't go to their home, which is called the Barns, and if they do, the whole contract will be broken, all that stuff. So, you know, Ronan's being Ronan. He goes to the barn, he goes to this barn, and there's all these sleeping cows, and they go into the house, and then they find his mom there, which they weren't allowed to speak to their mom either with the contract and all that, with the will. And we see his mom hooked up to all the IVs and stuff. It looks like she's in a coma. And when I see her, I'm like, holy crap, this woman's in a coma. Like, really? But we learn that Ronan's mom was from Ronan's dad's dream. So Ronan's dad dreamed his mom, and he took her out of a dream. So that makes Ronan and his two brothers like dream children almost, which is crazy. Like, what the heck? It's so interesting, but so crazy to me. I learned that, you know, Ronan's I think he's pretty much his dad's favorite, let's be honest here. And we learned that Matthew is his mom's favorite. But with that, I know that Ronan has these powers and stuff that he got from his dad, but don't you think there would be some other powers to the other brothers? I mean, am I the only one? I don't think I read anything about the other brothers having powers. Like, did his dad, like, handpick Ronan to have these powers, or did, like, did it just skip Declan and Matthew? Or are there powers that they have that we don't know about yet? I would think that they would have some sort of something going on with them, because their mom's a freaking dream and their dad is a dream thief. Something's got to be different about them. I mean, I would hope so. So we learned that, and that was probably my favorite thing about the book, like the learning about that, how he's a dream thief and all that kind of stuff. I enjoyed it a lot. I feel very confused about it. I don't know how it ties in to Glendower and how that's going to help them achieve their goal, because we learned that Capeswater is pretty much a dream, and we learned that Ronan, and there's this guy, Kavanaski, I think his name is, that's also, we learned, is a dream thief, which I didn't see that coming at all. I think other people did. I obviously just went over my head. And we learned that they're a dream thief, and the more that they dream and take things away from dreams, they're killing Capeswater. They're taking all the energy, all the ley line energy away from it. Kavanaski and Ronan get into this huge battle, and Kavanaski's like dragging from his dreams, and like Ronan's like, I forget what they're called. Dream monsters, let's just call them, because I forget what they're called, get to this huge epic battle, and Kavanaski dies, which I was totally okay with. But I did find him very interesting. Now, there was a scene in the book where Kavanaski was teaching Ronan how to go into dreams and take things out, like take what you want and then leave. Kavanaski obviously doesn't feel bad at all for taking things from dreams. Ronan feels bad, like he's like, these are dreams, you know? He doesn't feel like he should be doing it a lot, and Kavanaski just teaches him. And they use pills and stuff, and I think there are some people out there that don't like that scene, but I liked it, because I think with you learning powers, you're gonna need to learn how to do the dark side of them, to learn that you don't want that you are better than that, and you don't want to do harm or anything to people. So I liked seeing Ronan choose like that he's not going to do that kind of stuff, like he's doing this ultimately for good. So I did really like reading about Ronan and his stuff, and I feel more confused about it. I don't know how this all ties up to Glendower. Yes, we know that Capeswater is a dream and all that stuff, and I get that ties into it, but I don't feel like we're any closer than we were in the Raven Boys, honestly. I mean, we find two random objects that in the lake that Blue finds, which was a hilarious scene, by the way, with Orla and stuff. I love that. But that's it. We just found those two items, and then we found out that Ronan like has an effect on Capeswater, and I feel like that's all we really learned. Call me crazy. Am I the only one that thought that? I don't know. I mean, did we learn anything else? And with that, we have Adam. Now, remember when I said I really liked Adam in the Raven Boys? Well, you can scratch that away, because Adam was a jerk in this, and I think that's because he sacrificed himself. Water is ultimately like kind of taking the effect on him. Like, he can see these apparitions and spirits and stuff, and he has all this anger built up inside of him. Like, Adam needs to like find who he is. He struggles so much with the not having money, and he's letting that, sorry about my air conditioning, he's letting that rule him almost. Like, he doesn't want anybody to feel pity for him. He hates it, and I don't think his friends are feeling pity for him. It was just like Blue said, like him and Blue got into this huge argument, and he was like, don't take pity on me, and she's like, well, stop being so pitiful. And I 100% agree with that. You can let your past define you to a point where that's all you are, and I feel like that's what Adam's doing. Yes, I know you had a rough upbringing. Yes, I know you're poor. Don't let that become you. Don't follow in your father's footsteps, who you hate so much, because that is what you are doing right now. Dr. Phil is in session, apparently. But that's what I felt like Adam. I just want to shake him and be like, just grow the crap up, man. Like, it's time for you to just be okay with who you are. And when you accept that you didn't have a great life and you're gonna change that now, that's awesome. I feel like, though Adam was just a jerk, I hope he really redeems himself in the next book because I hate him right now. And now let's talk about Blue and Gansey. I didn't feel like we didn't get to see them that much in this book, which I wanted to because they are ultimately my two favorite characters. I love Blue, I love how sarcastic she is, and I really love that she came to terms with her liking Gansey and her having a crush. And that scene of them together, that little sparse scene, was the best ever, and I wanted more of that. I needed more of Blue and Gansey in my life, and I didn't get it. But that's okay. We have 2 more books coming, and I better get some Blue and Gansey action. Like, I need it, and I need it. Gansey's my favorite still. He's just one of the best characters I've ever read. He's just very caring of his friends, and he really has a passion for Glendower and finding him, and he just... I just love it. And with Noah too, I love Noah. I think Noah is so adorable. Him and Blue, that was so cute. I love Noah. The introduction of the Gray Man, which I thought was a great character. I'm really excited to see more of him. I love how he redeemed himself in this book, and then him and Mora, and then, yeah, and then the ending. We learn at the ending, they go back home after all this stuff with Ronan and Kavanowski, and we learn that Mora is not there, and there's this thing in the room, I forget what it was, like a Sith bowl or something, maybe, and it says Glendower is under Cabe's water, or is underground, and so am I. So where's Mora at? Is she in the same place Neva is now? Like, where the crap is she gone? Like, what happened? Did she go there willingly, or did she not go? We don't know, and that's crazy. I loved Mora. I thought she was a phenomenal character, and I'm just like so confused about this book. Like, I just feel confused. And with this also took a very, very long time to pick up. Like, the story did not get really good until like 150 pages, maybe even 200 for me. Like, I felt like I had a very slow pacing, and I didn't feel like a lot was accomplished in this book because we were so focused on Ronan, which I get, but I just want to see more at Glendower, and I want things to happen. I want it to come to a complete full circle, and I know we're only like half the circle shaded in right now. We have 2 other books, but I still feel like I don't know as much as I want to know with that. So yeah, with this, I'm going to give this book a 4 out of 5. It's probably leaning more to the 3.5 spectrum, I'd say. Overall, I still love the book. I love learning about Ronan. I love the Blue and Gansey action. Adam was, as much as a awful guy who was to read, I was very interested in reading about him. If you guys have talked about the Dream Thieves, let's chat about it, because I need some answers. I need to know what's going on. Like, what the heck? I don't even know when the next book's coming out, nor the title, nor the cover. So, I need to know. That is all from me. I will see you guys next time. Bye.